3 quote.
Coming up, we continue to remember Loretta Lynn. We'll take a look at some of the places where she performed and how she left her mark there. And it's now forest fire season here in Kentucky, and we are in a dry stretch of weather. We'll tell you about some restrictions in place for burning to keep everyone safe.
And we continue to see sunshine in the forecast for Thursday around the region, along with more comfortable temperatures. Then things change. The breakdown on those changes coming up as First at 4 continues.
Mountain News First at 4 continues.
As the world remembers the life and sounds of country music star Loretta Lynn, the region is celebrating a woman who set the stage for dreamers in eastern Kentucky. WIMT's Buddy Ford.
Throughout her massive career, Loretta Lynn built quite the platform, creating for herself a worldwide stage. But for many who look to her as an inspiration, the most impactful stages she ever stood on were right here at home. Loretta Lynn lent her voice to crowds across the world, but her Eastern Kentucky fans were never left out. The Queen of Country hit many stages in the region during her reign over the radio waves, including Floyd County's Mountain Arts Center and what is now the Appalachian Wireless Arena in Pike County, inspiring generations of dreamers to reach for the stars.
You've lost an icon. You've lost a legend, not only in country music, but in Eastern Kentucky. She was an icon. A lot of folks around here looked up to her, especially for music guidance and just how to be a good person.
Now the venue representatives I spoke with say while she was topping charts and shattering glass ceilings everywhere, the most impressive thing about Loretta Lynn is that she never forgot where she came from. In Pikeville, Buddy Forbes, WIMT Mountain News.
And we'll hear more about the impact her music had on the venue and their artists coming up tonight at 6. The Grand Ole Opry will pay tribute to Loretta this week during all of its 97th birthday shows. They aim to honor her life and contributions to the Opry and country music. For a list of shows and events, just head to their website, opry.com. One of the many singers paying tribute to Loretta is Lawrence County native Ricky Skaggs. Skaggs says he knew Loretta for a long time and says she opened many doors for young female country artists.
It was the perfect time. She was the perfect voice. She wrote most all of her hit songs, and she never steered away from the truth. She always was drawn to singing about the truth, not just making something up, but she always wrote songs about her true life and the way she felt about stuff.
Skaggs believes much of Lynn's legacy will be her songwriting. He says she will always shine not just in country music, but in the music industry as a whole.
Well, weather-wise, still plenty of sunshine out there this afternoon, and we continue our quest to find a cloud in the sky because they're hard to come by out there. A look outside from our camera along I-75 there in Rockcastle County at Mount Vernon, all blue. All beautiful out there as we head through the rest of tonight, or at least the rest of the afternoon. Yeah, maybe a couple there in the distance from our camera at Buffalo Mountain, but other than that, plenty of sunshine all around as we look into southern Perry County. Now it's 70 here in Hazard, 71 in Jackson, 73 Manchester, and our warm spot still 74 in Irvin. A little cooler out to the east, 66 Pikeville, 65 Clintwood, and 63 in Wise. I promise the satellite and radar is in motion. Just not a whole lot going on out there today. So as we run through the rest of the evening, 70 within the next hour, mid-50s out there by 9 o'clock, and upper 40s as we head to bed tonight. A little milder overnight. Coming up, though, I'll have the latest on when we could see a return to some more spring-like temperatures before fall comes crashing back. That's coming up in a few minutes. Steve?
All right, Evan, thank you. A man who hit and killed a homeless man with his car will spend decades behind bars. This morning, a judge sentenced Nathaniel Harper to 30 years in prison. A jury found Harper guilty of wanton murder, fleeing police, and receiving stolen property earlier this year. Back in 2017, he led law enforcement on a chase from Shelby County to Lexington. It ended when he crashed into Anthony Moore on Maryland Avenue near downtown. Moore died at the scene. Harper did get credit for time served. That's a little more than 4 years. The new forest fire season in Kentucky got underway this past weekend. Allie Blake has more on the restrictions being implemented for burning to try and keep everyone safe.
Kentucky wildfire season started October 1st and goes until December 15th. As new restrictions remain in place, it's important that everyone stays safe during burning season. Nearly 2/3 of all fires in the state of Kentucky are the result of arson. It's important to know this season the difference between burn restrictions and burn bans. Bridget Abernathy, the Assistant Director of the Kentucky Division of Forestry, explains the difference between the two.
The burn restrictions are specifically implemented during our fire seasons, and that relates to what I just said with burning within 150 feet of the woodland. Now, if we have extreme fire conditions, so this is warmer temperatures, higher winds, and drier conditions, then counties can implement something on top of this called a county burn ban. And that is implemented at the county level, but usually by a county judge executive that is prohibiting all burning within that county.
Along with paying attention to changing weather conditions, it's important to make sure you remove any debris, including leaves and firewood, from your yard and against your home. In Frankfort, Allie Blake, WKYT.
The Kentucky Energy and Environment Cabinet says burning anything within 150 feet of any woodland or brushland between 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. is illegal during the fire season. We'll take a look at this video from the Kentucky Transportation Cabinet. It's of a bridge implosion in western Kentucky. Crews demolished the small truss of the old US 60 bridge over the Green River in Henderson County. There it goes. The rest of the bridge will be removed later this month. President Biden is touring the destruction from Hurricane Ian in hard-hit Fort Myers, Florida. The president increased the level of disaster funding that extends coverage for debris removal and emergency protective measures for another 30 days. The president and first lady got a bird's-eye view of the disaster zone, seeing just how much destruction Hurricane Ian brought to the southwest coast. Republican Governor Ron DeSantis, who has been a vocal critic of the Biden administration, praised the ongoing cooperation that began even before the storm.
We were fortunate the White House declared this very quickly. We wanted to make sure that they were not isolated or forced to even have to leave the island that they love.
Recovery centers and volunteers are providing supplies to struggling residents and encouraging others to get involved. FEMA's damage assessment is ongoing, but it could be one for the record books. A federal appeals court is expediting a case over the legality of having a special master oversee the review of federal records seized from Mar-a-Lago. A faster resolution to the Justice Department's appeal could bring closure to the criminal investigation into the handling of former President Donald Trump's administration records after his presidency. The DOJ already has access to more than 100 documents marked as classified that the FBI took from Trump's Florida estate. But thousands of other documents are being reviewed by a special master. The DOJ is challenging that process. The appeals court's decision to expedite came a day after Trump turned to the U.S. Supreme Court for intervention in a more narrow legal matter related to the special master review. If you're waiting for a better time to buy a car, you may have to keep waiting for a while. Continued auto part shortages are driving average car prices higher and higher. Meanwhile, the Federal Reserve's interest rate hikes are making it more and more expensive to finance a vehicle. Plus, car companies and dealers have less incentives to take steps to bring down costs because demand is still vastly greater than supply. Edmunds.com reports the average new car loan interest rate hit 5.7% in the third quarter of 2022. That's the highest it's been since 2019. The average monthly payment in the third quarter was more than $700 compared to $630 this time last year. The average down payment was almost $1,000 less then as well. Coming up as First at 4 continues, the saga between Elon Musk and Twitter continues as Twitter has decided to accept a takeover bid from Musk once again.
Plus, keeping it sunny across the mountains this afternoon. How long that lasts and when those temperatures start to warm up, that's on the way.
WYMT News app offers alerts on breaking stories.